Yes, let's do it. All right. Bleav in Rams, presented by FanDuel. Erin Coscarelli, back with you with my dear friend, Seahawks legend, the linebacker. Lofa Tatupu did not want to do my show the week before the NFC. I know I've got to call you out. The week before the NFC Championship match because you are superstitious. Seriously? I guess that's normal, huh?
Well, no, not as a player, but as a fan, right? Like Michael Scott said, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt that. I felt that because the Thursday night football matchup I watched at my friend Natalie's house, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. I refuse to. I wanted the same conditions. So I wanted to be with the same family that the Rams beat the Bears in. So I get it. I get it. It's a real thing.
I went to Pacifica, a bar where every time I've gone there to watch an away game or even watch a home game from there, we've won, right? And
Yeah.
so then I was talking to some friends. I was like, am I crazy? Am I overthinking it? And then one of them was like, dude, I wear like the same thing every week, like until we lose a game. And we haven't, right?
It makes
So
sense. Yeah.
yeah. And I wore the same thing when we shut out Minnesota on that Sunday game.
Wow. What is it that you wear? It's like a sweatshirt, hoodie.
Yeah, it was just it was a hoodie.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, no, I didn't. I brought the hoodie, but like we said, you said it was cold in there. I overheat easily.
Oh yeah.
I had it with me just in case it went down. I had to throw that thing on for change the juju.
Just in case momentum shifted.
Yeah.
Which it didn't really. Let's break this game down. There's a lot to talk to with Lofa here. We've had a love-hate relationship this season. It's actually been really cool because I think Sam Darnold is such an easy guy to root for. Obviously, USC guy. The story about him with the Vikings last year, the Rams had their way with him, and then to come into a new environment and perform the way he's performed. I mean, it is a feel-good story. I know this is a Rams show, but I think if there's a guy that's going to lead the way, certainly a guy in the division and had an incredible story in terms of facing and dealing with his own set of adversity.
Absolutely. I mean, it is possibly the best story, right?
Yeah.
Other than guys coming back from injury, right? And like really being away from the game and, because I've been there before, but everything he's gone through, all the different teams. And then last year, when the first round pick for the Vikings got hurt, insert him, Salmon, and like they just took off. And it didn't end the way he wanted, right? Like all the wins, regular season, great. But it was almost like the same identical situation of he played for the 1 seed or the 6 seed. And then, he won it this time. And then he went on and played the Rams again, which there could be, like you said, adversity or maybe some PTSD, for lack of a better term, of just like, oh man, it's the same team that I lost to last year. But this is not the Sam postseason Sam is not the same as the postseason Sam last year and the game deciding, division champions last year. Ever since you guys picked him off 4 times in one game, he has progressed. And I know the numbers didn't always reflect it, but the decision making, and I'm telling you, like, don't even want to speak about next year because we still got the most important game. But I really feel like this is just the beginning of something very special. He's proved, even me, I was a little apprehensive, like, about the big games. Like he's definitely grown and matured. But he's now a leader of his team. Like, and you saw it even after that game, the press conference, Ernest Jones had his back, Leonard Williams. And when the defense rallies around you, much like the defense, rallies for Stafford, it's a real team and it's special.
Sam Darnold going to the Super Bowl. I bet even Lofa didn't expect that at the start of the season. I'm sure you were hopeful of it, but it's a sentence not a lot of people would have believed, which is why we love the NFL. It's
Yes.
why these are the cool stories. I mean, even Caleb over there in Chicago's got a very bright future. And to see Sam Darnold thrive in like you said, when my biggest thought, Lofa, was look, the Rams headed to you guys on a short week, whatever week it was, week 16.
Yeah.
McVay had a baby that Monday before. He was tired. This team's traveled a lot, but Tyler Dragon of USA Today, who jumps on my show and was there on site, he said there is not a louder stadium he has ever been inside. Not Arrowhead, not Soldier Field, I guess doesn't get so loud, but Seattle, why is it so loud there?
That's something that you would have to talk to an architect or an engineer.
The engineering there,
but
how did he do it?
What's special is, and I talked about it, went down the field after the game, because I had to feel it again one time. And look, my whole body was hurting going down because I'm old, going down the stairs because the elevator was packed. I was like, I know a way. I got all the way down there. And I'm telling you, the energy on the field post game, and just like, because it's contagious. And I'll tell you, my fingers didn't hurt, my legs didn't hurt. I felt like I was young again until I woke up the next day. But it is electric in that stadium. And I'm glad these players, because I want to say for the last 5+ years, it hasn't been like that. People selling their tickets, like it happens at every stadium. I don't know if there really is a true home field advantage anymore in today's day and age. And so, but it was all blue and green, right? You might have had a different shade of blue here and there, but it was loud, like I remembered it. And brought me back to 20 years ago when we won our first NFC Championship.
Yeah. Well, and the other part that's really cool too, if you just want to just be a fan of the game, but maybe a little bit bittersweet, was Cooper Kupp gets there now, and he is so highly regarded. And it's the hardest part about, I think, the NFL, which is, and I think we should get into, we'll talk about the Seahawks in the game, but I think the other thing that I'm curious to get your take is NFL is a business, and they, guys get older or they get injured, and you have to make a decision that's really tough for the team. Obviously, letting Cooper Kupp go was not easy, bringing in a Devontae Adams. But even what the Rams are going to have to do this season, we don't know 100% that Stafford's coming back. But let's just say that the Rams have 2 first-round picks. I mean, they have to look to a quarterback at some point. And then does that become like kind of awkward when you're Stafford, you're 37, I think he's going to be 38, like very soon. And, or you're Cooper Kupp and you get taken, I mean, I think it worked out for him, but that has to be a very challenging as a player. You're like in battle, you're sacrificing yourself, you're dedicating, you're missing time with family. That must be hard, no?
Absolutely. But you said it, it's a business, and you go in understanding that, and we all have an expiration date. Like we don't know when it's going to be. We don't know how it's going to happen, but one thing's for certain, it is going to happen. And so I don't think Stafford's done. I mean, this was statistically just an outrageously awesome year for him. And he's had a lot of great years in the past too. That's what's wild about it. And I don't think you have to draft a quarterback. I with Sean McVay there, he's part of the magic, right? Coaches don't ever take credit for what a player does, but putting them in position to win is very critical to our success. So I don't think they would do that. If anything, I think they would probably, I don't know the needs, but like if they need more offensive linemen or another weapon for him, that's what they're going to do to, to make sure, he's upright for the whole 17 games. But if they brought in a quarterback, I don't see it being a problem with Stafford. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, look at what, that's totally different, but look at what Tom Brady and the Green Bay Packers, so the Patriots and the Packers, if you look through the past,
Mhm.
you know, you see guys that have done it right. The
Yeah.
Patriots have always grabbed a quarterback like every 2 or 3 years, early,
Mhm.
second round,
Mhm.
third round. I don't know if they ever took a first, but and they waited their turn. They got a master's in how to play the position, how to prepare in and out every day, each week. And then oftentimes they took all the reps in the preseason and they got traded for a lot of picks. And you look over the Packers, I think they've only had 3 quarterbacks for the last 50 years, right? Favre, and then Rodgers, and then
Rodgers and
now
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 Love.
Love. And they all got paid, relative to the position lower because they hadn't started a game yet. So it's like they saved cap and they also prepared him to like not just throw him to the wolves, which is what happened to Sam Darnold and a lot of other quarterbacks. They either went to the Jets or the Browns. There's, you know, some patterns
Okay.
I've always seen that can like kind of tell you how to do it. But McVay, Shanahan, Kubiak, O'Connell, McDaniel, these are guys that don't necessarily need a first round pick. Now,
Yeah.
maybe they've had some in the past, but they don't, they are part of the magic.
Yeah, and that was exactly a great point. It's why the Jets and the Browns and those types of organizations always sort of have such inconsistency because I think it starts at the top. It starts with who your coach is. And look at Darnold with the Jets, and then he goes to the Vikings. He sees success, and then now, I mean, it's insane. The NFL, it's literally insane.
And Baker, right? They were in the same room
And
together in Carolina.
Baker. Oh yeah,
And so
yeah.
if anybody, I thought Sean might keep Baker around in case, Stafford, because I think he
Right.
had the back, shoulder, knee, like that dude's a warrior. But
Stafford. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And so that's why I thought when he picked him up that 1 week, right? And he played on like 3 days notice. And I think they won, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh, are you talking about Baker against the
Baker, yeah,
Raiders on a
yeah.
Monday night? I was with the Raiders at the time, and he gets brought in. And so that's what I think will be the biggest thing for McVay. He needs someone really smart. It's like moving on from an
And
ex
tough. And
and durable. You can't move on from like an amazing partner and then think you're going to slum it. Like he's got to have somebody really intelligent, durable, humble, high character, all the things that you saw out of Stafford. That's going to be really hard to replace.
yeah, the standard's been set and broken.
Yeah.
With a whole lot of records. So I know what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah. And that's the part that's always hard after the season is officially over. It's like, how are you keeping all these guys together? You've got Devontae. Does Devontae come back? Can you afford to pay? Now you're paying Puka. You got a lot of moving around that you have to take into account, essentially building while also contending and keeping
Yeah.
your vets together.
Yeah. And I have no worries about McVay and how he'll approach it. There's a lot of guys that you would love to keep, but there's only a few that are like critical to the absolute success of your team. Like they go out like of a couple games and like the team is not the same. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not just their level of play, but they're like an energy source like that people feed off of.
I was most impressed. I mean, by all of them, but Devontae, when we were with him at the podium and he was doing these pressers and the third different franchise, he hits a receiving touchdown record. He is so humble when he speaks to the media, and yet he's so like confident as he should be on a football field. To me, those are always the most interesting stories when you really get to know who this person is. And I've always been so impressed by Devontae. And so, Devontae, McVay, and Stafford, that trio feels like a really, like you mentioned, an architect of high character, good qualities, and hopefully
Yeah.
they keep it together.
I don't hope so, for the record.
I know exactly.
But yeah, that's who I felt the worst for, though, was
Yeah.
Devontae. This is fifth NFC Championship, I believe.
Yep. Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
it's like, just to get that close, like,
Yeah. Again.
man. Yeah.
But let's what did you see? I think, for Rams fans, I think the biggest questions have always been, are they going to have the special teams this season to figure it out? Obviously, they fired their special teams coordinator midseason. That was the first time McVay had ever done a firing midseason, and the secondary. But when you look at this team, why was Seattle able to have such success throughout the last two games they played them, but essentially this last one?
Yeah, I think defensively, unbelievable job when we went to LA. But the last two games, I can't say it was picture perfect. We got lucky in a few instances, especially that one fourth down towards the end zone. That's, it's all over social media and TV. McVay even broke it down in the press conference. But offensively, it was just about gaining confidence and running the ball, which, they're kind of synonymous, right? If you're running the ball, everything's at your disposal, and that's why we saw so many more points in the last two matchups. So I think, it's tough. Like we mentioned, Sam, you're coming. Yeah, you might have some familiarity. I don't know if it's exactly to a T the way they when they were together. I think they were in San Fran together, Kubiak and even then, he only got a couple live games. I think one or two starts with Sam, to really get to know what plays he's comfortable with, what are he knows his strengths and weaknesses, but just making sure he stays in rhythm. I think that's something that's critical for an offensive coordinator to do for their quarterback, and just on point, right? No negative plays.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Yeah. I mean, they were efficient on third down. I don't think the Rams had much luck. Obviously, muffed punt will hurt you. Yeah.
Special teams, right? That's one of the third phase that a lot of people don't talk about. I mean, we brought it up because there was a change at the coaching position for you guys, but Harbaugh and this special teams they've scored, I think, 6 touchdowns. One when they're covering a kick, 3 or 4 returns. Horton had a return, and then I think Shaheed's had 3 since he's been here. So it's that was a crucial pickup at the deadline.
Right. Yeah. Wild. And, I mean, we've seen it go awry when there's a walk-off field goal opportunity and it's wide right or wide left. And it's, it's like, oh my God, to lose it and all that pressure. And that's what it really felt like with Xavier Smith, who was, the player that muffed that punt there. When I had Tyler Dragon on, who was also there, he's the writer for USA Today. He just said, he said that he felt like he seemed nervous, like the moment was big for him.
I noticed the same thing 2 punt returns earlier.
Yeah.
He caught it up by his mask. And then the second one was very clean, no problem. Like he had settled down. And that third one, it's unfortunate. Of course you want to win, but you always feel for a player in that situation because that play didn't win or lose the game, even though it was critical. It's not awesome. You find a way to overcome it as a team, and you don't point fingers when it happens because there's so many plays that go unnoticed for just a first down. That extended drive and a touchdown happens, and it's oh well, if we stopped him on that third down, that touchdown doesn't happen, right? So can play the what if game all day long, but feel for him though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, it's like a relationship. It's like, oh, what if I just would have, bought more flowers and called more, and you just can't go back and you can't.
Hold up, I'm taking notes.
Write them down. Write them down. No, but it's heartbreaking, especially when the team had overcome so much adversity. Obviously, like, with Stafford, the back situation and Javonte being out, but that's just the game. That's why the game is awesome. And now you've got Darnold going to the Super Bowl. I think on FanDuel, I want to say the Seahawks are favored. Everybody I talk to, 4.5. They're favored 4.5 points over the Patriots. And boy, going up against Drake May, when you look at that matchup, I know you're confident, but where do you feel like the Patriots could exploit the Seahawks if there's a weakness there?
I really don't see one.
I think a lot of people feel the same way.
I don't see a glaring weakness. Every player on that starting roster, there's 5 or 6 guys behind them that are going to eventually, in a year or two or whenever their time comes due, they're going to get paid somewhere else, right? And that's what resembles a championship team, is that you have so much depth because injuries do happen.
Mm-hmm.
At least 7 or 8 of our guys have missed time. I'm guessing maybe just Leonard Williams and maybe one of the other safeties or corners has been out there every game, all 17. Everybody's had to have missed at least 1 or 2 games. But and you plug in somebody else and you don't miss a beat. You still stay where you're supposed to in terms of the rankings, rush defense, pass defense, overall ranking. And that's a testament to John Schneider, finding those guys, and it's a testament to Mike Macdonald developing those guys.
Yeah. But when they first brought in Darnold, what was your reaction? Be honest.
I said he's a great quarterback. I do worry about big game. When it gets to the big game and the moment of truth, right? It seems like time speeds up. It seems anxious, much like we were just talking about. Because when I would go back, I watched both of those games. I didn't rewatch them, just remember them from last year. I was like, oh man. And I felt like the Vikings probably could have helped them out trying to run the ball a little more, right? And either way, it's the past. But I did see after 1 or 2 some impatience, and his feet got happy. That would be the cue to me if I were a coach or someone close enough. Dude, when you feel that, when you can feel your feet going like that, because now your mind's telling your feet to do that. Take off. Just get back to the line of scrimmage, get 2 or 3 yards if you can. But if you get back to the line of scrimmage and no negative plays, we are still an advantageous situation. We're gonna be all right.
Oh yeah. You've got the defense. You got a ton of things working for you where, there's a lot, I would say there's a lot of trust within all the 3 units of the Seattle Seahawks. And interestingly enough, even FanDuel has Sam Darnold leading the way in the Super Bowl MVP, which is cool to see. Even though Drake May is, very much in the running for MVP of the season, him up against Stafford. And I wonder, obviously voting has already, but he's Stafford is the perceived MVP from what I'm hearing. But Drake May. You think so? You would say?
I don't think there's some kind of stat out there that I heard about where whoever had more all-pro votes or something like that for first team all-pro, there's a correlation to.
So see, that's Lofa dropping the knowledge.
Just stats, just numbers.
Yeah,
but
stats and gifts.
That's yeah, absolutely. But absolutely incredible what Drake May's done. Is this his 2nd year?
Yeah.
That's wild, right?
I know.
So, whoever wins it, they're, very much deserving. But, I've seen him throw the ball, and Stephon Diggs still can do it, right? Coming back from injury. We talked about feel-good stories. He tore his ACL, I Bleav, a year ago, and then got released. They picked him up, and man, he knows too much, right? He knows. And a lot of these younger guys, that could be a matchup, right? If you were to talk about, we don't have a weakness, but that could be a tough matchup for whoever has that duty. I'm guessing it's a guy like Spoon who, fast and quick, and then just plays tough. Doesn't doesn't give you a lot of space. So, but other than that, I don't know. Maybe tight ends, Henry against the middle of the field or the linebackers. But again, Ernest Jones got, you know who Ernest Jones is, right?
Oh yeah. Ernest Jones. Yeah. We're familiar with him.
Just a franchise record 5 interceptions, right? Actually might have got a 6th in the playoffs, including playoffs. I think it's 6 now, which is like insane.
Yeah. Thank you for the reminder.
So,
I do know we are short on time, but before I let Lofa go, you're in and out of all the NFL talk and rumors and such, and NFL Honors is going to be where they're announcing MVP, but who will not be getting announced. And I want to get your take on your thoughts on Bill Belichick and what's going on. How do you see that one? How do you process that one?
I mean, most Super Bowls, right? I don't get it. Just like much in like when they held T.O. out, like 1, 2, or 3 in every statistical category. What are we doing? And I don't say we, because I guess I am part of the media now, but I don't get a vote. Like this should be voted on by those in the Hall of Fame, right? Do they have a Writers Hall of Fame? Can I vote on that? That would be like me voting on their Hall of Fame. Is that fair? There'd be a lot of pissed off writers, I'll tell you that much.
It's crazy. I mean, it's funny. I posted something on social media and, kind of suggesting, not that I'm trying not to take a side. I'm pointing to both, but statistically, if he leads the way and has the most Super Bowls and so on and so forth, someone wrote, but Brady is the reason that he has all of those. So, you can't make everybody happy. Everyone's got a take, everyone's got an opinion. You just want to hope that, everybody's trying to be as unbiased as possible. And feels like Bill deserves to be a first ballot, but yeah.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. I mean, even common sense, right? It's not common, but even a coach that's older, right? Like get him in there now, right? Just put him in. Like he deserves it. And even Pete. Like,
oh yeah.
I just don't understand why coaches also have to wait 5 years. I saw something else like Robert Kraft's not in the Hall of Fame, and Jerry Jones is. Like I don't know how they come up with the criteria. It's obviously flawed. But also let me vote on the writers. Let me vote on that.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear how all this shakes out. There's like new details emerging each and every day, and we're here for all of it. Are you going to be in San Francisco?
I wanted to, but unfortunately for everybody in San Fran, it's not going to get to see me.
Oh, they're sad.
I am partying with Emerald Queen Casino up here.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense.
They throw a big party, and it's awesome.
Okay, I mean, duty calls. I get it. You have a legion of fans that need to see you there. So I'm glad you're going to be having a good time. I will be in San Francisco. I'm not going to the game, but I will be there for all the media stuff. And thank you for making the time. I know you had you have many options and many things to do at 10:50 in the morning, but I appreciate it. I respect the superstition and also your gift game. So I'll be expecting some good gifts on Super Bowl Sunday. Okay.
It's a gift and a curse.
Appreciate it. Lofa. All right. Thanks guys for listening.